Hello from Jonathan and me, and welcome to tonight's programme.
First tonight, a crackdown on crime by police officers from across the region on one of our busiest motorways, an operation that could be coming to your county next.
The aim was simple, using the latest technology to catch criminals and get them off our roads.
In all, 129 vehicles were stopped. Police made 10 arrests, including some for suspected fraud and drug offences, and 27 people were caught driving without insurance. Well, Neil Bradford now reports from the M1 in Bedfordshire.
140,000 motorists use the M1 every day. Most are law-abiding. For those that aren't, today there was simply no escape. Automatic number plate recognition cameras were being used to target criminals in an operation involving 160 police officers from all of the region's forces.
Every single vehicle that passes under this motorway bridge will have its number read by the ANPR system, up to 3,500 cars an hour.
All units, Tango 0 Lima 20, M1 northbound lane 2, no tax marker.
Inside the camera van, PC Ian Wilson alerts colleagues to vehicles that have triggered an alarm. Intercept cars are waiting to escort them to checkpoints at Toddington Services and on the A6 in Luton.
The fact that we're selective and who we're picking out means that we're going to get results far more often than it is just done by intuition, as you say. And we get a variety of good results. We had quite a lot of arrests when we did this in Essex last time round. And I say the idea is each force in the eastern region and their neighbours help out, and once a month we'll do a big operation in one of the force areas.
It's not long before the cameras start bringing results. This 4x4 is being searched for drugs. Sniffer dog Jax is unable to pick up a scent, but the driver admits there is something of interest inside.
Do you want to tell us how much money is in there?
£7,000 exactly.
So £7,000?
£7,000 within the cover vehicle. 8 months arrears on my mortgage. Right.
The man was arrested on suspicion of fraud, with £7,000 in used notes seized under the Proceeds of Crime Act. The police have been joined by a number of other agencies for this operation, including the UK Border Agency and Revenue and Customs officers. The people in this car are thought to be illegal immigrants from China. After checking their details, the passengers are free to leave, but the driver has some explaining to do.
Okay. I don't have to say anything but my home defence. If you do not mention when questioned, something we should raise for our report.
He's arrested for having false documents. Immigration officials also want to talk to him about his status.
Well, it's now lunchtime. The operation's been running for around 2.5 hours. Already, officers have stopped more than 50 vehicles. They've made 5 arrests. 15 people have been caught driving without insurance, and 2 stolen vehicles have been recovered.
Minutes later, 2 more arrests follow, this time for suspected drugs offences. The 2 men were taken to Luton police station for further questioning. This car was taken off the road for serious safety defects. Incredibly, the driver told VOSA officials he was a special constable with Essex Police. The driver of this van received an on-the-spot fine of £500 for using red diesel. And it wasn't a lucky day either for this Northampton driver.
I thought my van was road taxed and insured, but there's been some misunderstanding with my company. So it's not insured, it's not road tax, so they're seizing my vehicle.
This is the second joint operation between the region's police forces to use ANPR cameras in this way. There will be more to follow later this year. The warning to those breaking the law is there is no hiding place. Neil Bradford, Anglia News, on the M1 in Bedfordshire.
Interesting, and a busy day for the police, as you could see there on the M1. Now, we're going to keep you up to date with the full results of today's operation right here on Anglia Tonight.
Next tonight, and he struck fear into the hearts of women across Milton Keynes last summer. Tonight, he's behind bars.
26-year-old Robert Horne was found guilty of attacking 3 women on a network of paths known as the Redways. Emma Baker was in court.
They were terrifying attacks that sparked a major police investigation and spread fear throughout the Milton Keynes community. And this was the man responsible. Today, a jury found 26-year-old Robert Horne guilty of 1 count of attempted rape and 5 counts of sexual assault. The court heard that at the time of the attacks, all 3 women were walking through secluded spots alone. They were grabbed from behind and taken into woodland before being sexually assaulted. The attacks took place during a 5-week period in the early part of last summer. The first happened on Saturday the 2nd of May at 5:25 in the morning in the Bradville area of Milton Keynes. Then, 3 weeks later in the Mounts Farm area, a woman was attacked at 5 in the evening. The last attack came on June the 5th and happened at 10 p.m. in Great Linford. Horn's victims ranged from 50 years old to just 15. All endured horrifying ordeals. One woman described how she was punched in the face and threatened with a knife. Another told the court how her neck was squeezed so hard she couldn't breathe.
These were very serious sexual assaults. It's very important to say that offences like this against lone women and the seriousness of the attacks are comparatively very rare, so we're very pleased to have got this conviction.
At the time of the attacks, Horn spread unease throughout Milton Keynes. Many will now be relieved that this dangerous attacker is behind bars. He'll be sentenced at the end of next month.
Well, Emma joins us live now from outside court. So, Emma, people in Milton Keynes must be feeling some sense of relief tonight.
Absolutely, Rihanna. Yeah. It's important to remember the terrifying nature of these attacks and also the real fear that spread throughout Milton Keynes as they were going on. They all took place on the Redways pedestrianised routes in Milton Keynes, which are used by thousands of people on a daily basis. And, of course, that really did spread a real fear throughout the community.
Well, women were frightened to go on the Redways, and we deal mainly with women who are unemployed, and they come to us to get the confidence to go on to training and employment, and we try to help them to not be isolated in their homes anymore, and that's exactly what they were, because they were too scared to come out.
So relief today amongst people in Milton Keynes and the community that Robert Horn is behind bars, and also praise from the police to the 3 victims who had to give evidence during this 3-week trial, not least to try and remember about the safety of other women and try and prevent this man from attacking again. Today, after today's verdict, it's hoped they can try and pick up the pieces and rebuild their lives.
Indeed. Emma Baker, thank you very much for that. Now, some more news in brief, and a jury has heard that a man and a woman accused of murdering a kitchen salesman and dumping his body parts around Hertfordshire admit selling his car and using his bank account after his disappearance. 38-year-old Stephen Marshall and his then-girlfriend, 21-year-old Sarah Bush, both deny murdering Geoffrey Howe in March of last year. Well, Marshall had admitted disposing of the body. He's expected to give evidence at St Albans Crown Court tomorrow.
An aid worker from Essex who was reported missing after the earthquake in Haiti has been confirmed dead by the Foreign Office. 59-year-old Anne Barnes from Leigh-on-Sea had been working for the United Nations in Port-au-Prince when the quake struck more than 2 weeks ago. The UN office building where she was working was reduced to rubble. A Foreign Office spokeswoman has confirmed that Ms Barnes's body has now been identified.
Around 30 firefighters were called to a blaze at the open-air market in the centre of Milton Keynes this afternoon. Crews were called to a spot next to Centre MK just before 2 p.m, where some of the market stalls were on fire. A safety cordon was set up around parts of the main shopping complex while firefighters tackled the flames. Nearby roads were also closed temporarily until the blaze was out. The cause is being investigated now.
I could see thick, acrid, grey clouds of smoke coming off the market area. I went and had a look and I could see flames licking underneath the motorway. I could hear from all directions sirens converging.
The train company, First Capital Connect, has announced it's increasing its offer of compensation after months of delays and cancellations. The company has now offered regular travellers a discount up to the equivalent of 2 weeks free travel. Industrial disputes, driver shortages and snow have caused problems on the Thameslink route, which runs from Bedford to London and Brighton. More than 5,000 people recently signed a petition for First Capital Connect to be stripped of its franchise.
Well, next tonight...